Hello everyone, happy Saturday. I'm jumping on in the middle of the day on Saturday. Today is April 4th of 2020. If you are catching the replay either here on Facebook or YouTube, thank you. And let's see. This was the easiest I've ever set up for Facebook Live. So let's see what happens. I know some friends have been saying they've been having different troubles with, doing different things on Facebook. So, hey Zelda, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. But yeah, so I jumped right on. So, yay, that's winning in my book. So, okay. Let me just open up, this video on my group page where I am. You're on my Facebook business. Well, it's not my business group. It's just my group for my business. So let's see. That way I can make sure that I can see everything, and it's not always the easiest thing to find. So I think that's it. Oh, and I realizing I did leave one thing. So, okay, I found it, and I'm going to share it really quickly. Hey, Sarah. Hi, Paulina. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Let's see. So, I'm just going to share this, that I'm live on my business page. And let's see. Yep, that's where I want it to go. Fingers crossed. Okay. All right, you guys. Oops. And there's something else I forgot to do. I felt a little out of sorts right at the beginning when I was like, you know what? I'm going to go live really quick before Andy gets home from work. And then I was like, oh, what do I have to do? What do I have to get ready? So anyway, what you're seeing is hey Pat, miss you. Thanks so much for joining. I've got my swap card here for, I believe this was for our March team meeting. Because we were able to do our March team meeting as a normal gathering, because that was right before all of the craziness started. So I've missed them too, Sarah. Thank you. That makes me feel good. I have missed doing them. I had to kind of take some things into consideration about what was going on with my business and where I wanted it to go. And the Facebook Lives just got pushed down to the bottom of the list. But now I've got some different things going, and I've got some great things happening for my business. So I think that Facebook Lives are going to be coming back. So yeah. Anyway, so this was my swap card, and I got a lot of compliments on it. So I thought, you know what, it'll be the perfect quick little card to make for you guys. Yeah, so there we go. So there it is. Yeah. Now this one doesn't have an inside because it was a swap card. When we do swap cards, we don't, you're not required to do an inside. Sometimes I do, depending on it, but I figured everybody had, something that could go with Easter. I've got a rogue sequins happening right there. It was trying to jump out of the pool. Okay, so let me show you. We're using the Welcome Easter stamp set, because I'm going to use the bunny and this little sentiment. And then for my inside, I chose Easter Promise, and I'm going to use this pretty one right here. May the promise of his wonderful gift fill your heart with peace and joy. I just love it. Oh, I love that one. Okay, so let's talk about our consumables for a second. I've got a lovely lipstick card base, and this is cut to a 5.5 by 8.5, and it is scored at 4 1/4. Thanks, Zelda. We'll put that off to the side for a minute. I also have Lovely Lipstick. This is, if you remember, I count my dies, or I number my dies from smallest to largest. So this is number 6, okay? And that's also in Lovely Lipstick. I've got the second largest stitched shaped circle in Whisper White. And can you see the little edges, how they're not smooth? I'll show you how to get rid of that. It happens mostly for me when I'm using something that's stitched. And it happens with all of my stitch. So I don't think that it's a, you know, a defect or anything. I think it just happens, but I'm going to show you how to get rid of it. I do have a couple of strips of Whisper White. These are 1/2-inch strips. They're just offcuts for making, you know, projects or whatever. That way, hey, Ada K, I miss you too. Thank you so much for being here. The length doesn't matter because we're going to cut it down, but these are 1/2-inch strips. I got 2 just in case I mess up. And then I've got 2 pieces of Whisper White cardstock that are 4 by 5 1/4. One is for the outside, one is for the inside. And then I chose, I've got everything but, where's my strip of designer paper? I thought I was ready. Hang on. It's got to be right here because it was just in my hand. I'm using the Best Dressed. Okay, well, I'm bound to have another one, so let's look. This is paper that's available in our new spring catalog. And when I was doing my Easter sampler class, I ended up with all of these little strips of this paper. And I didn't have the heart to throw it away. You know, I thought, well, I'll come up with something. So I used them on my swaps, and I just added that cute little print. And I had a specific one that I wanted to use. Let me see what's on the back of it. Okay. Looking. If I can't find it right here, I'll just give up because, you know, I'll find it once I'm done. Here it is. Perfume bottles. Yep. I wanted to use this little stripy one that had the Lovely Lipstick, the Petal Pink, and then this is actually Purple Posy. Now, I don't have anything Purple Posy on my card, but I'm using Lovely Lipstick and the Petal Pink. But there are so many patterns in this paper pack you could use for Easter or spring. Yeah, I really love it. So I used, this is the one that I used on my swap. And I think it's probably my favorite piece. And then this is the one that we're using today. Hey, Lisa, thanks for joining. Okay, so let's put this off to the side for a second. Let's do some stamping and so that can get drying. And what I'm going to bring in is this is a little, it's a nail sanding block. I mean, it was 99 cents. I got it at Sally's or something. Anyway, but so when you have those little stray pieces of cardstock after you've used a die, all you got to do is simply just run this around the edge of it. You don't have to be real precise. It'll all come right off. Yeah, so we have to buff our shapes. Whew, I'm glad that came out okay. That could have been dangerous. All right, so what are you guys doing on Saturday? Most everybody on here is in San Antonio. So I'm assuming you're experiencing the downpour that is happening. It's actually just lightened up right now, but it's been coming down in buckets since like 10:30 this morning. Which, I mean, we need the rain, but yeah, my husband is working today, but he's inside the building they're working on, I think, although it's new construction. So I don't think there's like walls up yet or anything, but wow. Okay, so I just inked up the little bunny in our Memento. Hoping I can see, I missed a spot. Oh my God, did you see what I just did? I thought this was the ink pad and this was the lid, so I set the lid down. Ha! Okay, well, it's a good thing that I have another one of these already cut. That's actually something I've never done before. How funny is that? Oh my gosh. Oh, goodness. All right, so let's get that cleaned up there. Now this just barely fits on this image, on this little circle, but it actually, I mean, it nestles in quite nicely here. Ooh, Sarah's baking, folding clothes and stamping. Good. Yeah, I did some baking yesterday, and Sunday is my laundry cleaning day. So yay for tomorrow. Look how pretty that stamps. Oh my gosh, I just love it. Okay, focus. Let me bring in, oh, that's what I didn't get out was the sentiment for the outside, which I'm going to use. There's actually 2 Easter sentiments, but I wanted to use this one. And let me grab a block for that. This is probably way too big. Okay, and since I've already messed up this piece of grid paper, let's just come over here. I'm just going to see if that's on there straight, and that looks pretty good. Sometimes with these skinny sentiments, they can be pretty tricky. I want to make sure I have enough room off to the right side. If I can find my finished card. Hold on, before I drop that. Here we go. Yeah, I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to stamp it off to the right side and cut a little flag, okay? So, here we go. Holding my breath. Okay, yeah, I don't love it. Little thick, but what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to clean it because it's got a lot of ink on some of those letters. So let me start with a clean stamp. Get that cleaned off and dry, and we'll try again. It's picking up a lot of ink on some of those. You know what? I bet that's not going to be long enough. So let me use this one. Okay, that's much better. Yay! Yeah, so sometimes if that happens to you, clean the stamp and start over, because when you have these little skinny letters, some of them can just get a whole lot of ink on them, and that's how you're going to end up with like this, the F and the, yeah. So anyway, we'll tear that off and use it later, and that one can get trashed. I will clean that in a second. And then we've got one more bit of stamping. Oh, and I really wish I could find that strip, because now I just had another idea of something else. Okay, I'll have to look for another one in just a second. So I'm just going to kind of line this up on my grid paper and get out that black ink one more time. I love this sentiment. Oops. Sorry about that. Let me scoot this back just a second. My tripod kind of got top heavy, I guess, and it was coming down. I think I have it leaned out too far. Hi, Marlene. Thanks for joining. It's so pretty. So pretty. Okay, now I can put this away. Let's let all of this stamped stuff that might still be a little wet, let's put that away. And let me grab that other piece of designer paper before I forget that I want to add it. Here it is, to the inside. I knew I had 2 of them. Yeah. So I don't know. The idea that just came in my head was I'm just going to put this on the bottom, and we can go ahead and do that. Where's my favorite? My liquid glue. Hello, Aunt Chris. I'm so glad you're here. I am making an Easter card for you guys today. Let me put this down in the screen so you guys can see. So I'm just going to, I've been using this glue like crazy on a photo album flip book thingy that I'm designing for a class, and I've decided that everybody in the class is going to need to get a bottle of glue, because I almost used an entire bottle for the album. I'm just going to grab my silicone mat because this piece is longer than my card and I don't want to get glue on my paper. And I'm just going to take this right to the bottom edge all the way across. And I'm just going to make sure that that's lined up and that it's edge to edge. And we'll let that dry for just a second and then I'll trim that off, that excess off. I don't want to get that sticky glue on my scissors. Okay, so that's ready to go. Giving that bunny plenty of time to dry before I start coloring. So let's go ahead and add this to the front of our card. So this is a really great way to use up your scraps, those little offcuts that, you know, it's like, oh, what do I do with that? And let's see, with this one, I came up about almost 3 inches. So, or almost 3/4 of an inch, sorry. Each of these little squares is 1/4 of an inch, so that's going to help me line up my card. So I'm going to put the bottom of my card on a grid line, and I'm just going to come up 3/4 of an inch because it's easier. So 1, 2, 3. So this is where I want my paper to start, and then I can kind of see from edge to edge that I've got it lined up. As long as this was straight, which I'm not sure that it was. Yeah. I don't know. It looks crooked. Huh. Okay, well, I think it'll be okay. We'll cut that off in a second as well. Let's put these up here out of the way. And then we'll put that on in just a second. Having a plan and then being prepared, thanks Merlene, are two different things with me. I don't know if that's for everybody or whatever. This is where yes, you are correct, Miss Pat. Yep. And now I forgot what I was going to say, but okay, well, never mind. It wasn't important, obviously. Okay. Oh, I know what I was going to say was that, I didn't quite have all of my steps down in the order that I was going to do them, but I mean, that's not a big deal, right? Okay, so I've got light and dark smoky slate, and I'm just going to go ahead and fill in my bunny. Sometimes I start with the light first, and sometimes I start with the dark first. I think it just depends on the image, or I don't know. I think it really just depends. There is really no correct formula for it, but now I'm going to switch with it's the same pen, the same marker. I'm just switching to the broader tip so that I can fill in the larger area a little more quickly. Now be careful not to get his little teeth. We want to leave his little teeth white, and of course I'm going to color his nose pink, so I'm just coming around and getting that all filled in, and then I'll bring in my dark. Yeah, I think it was Sarah, because every time I moved it, it was like, wait, is that straight? Is that straight? So I just color dark where I want to color dark. I know that you're supposed to try to figure out where the light source is coming from and yada, 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 whatever. I'm not artsy like that. I just kind of go around, and for this image I'm going to go around his whole face because I want it to be darker around the edges, and then have it be lighter towards the center. So we'll just see. There are people out there that are amazing with these markers, and I watch and I'm just like, oh my God, that is so beautiful. I'm just coloring in little circles right against that line where the dark meets the light, just to get rid of the harshness of that line. Get careful with his teeth. Hello, Miss Patsy. Thank you for joining. I messaged her earlier and said, I'm jumping on Facebook Live, like unannounced. Will you please join me so that I won't be by myself? And look at all you guys here. I love it. Thank you so much. It's so much more fun to craft with others, right? We've been using Zoom quite a bit. I tried talking with my parents last night, but you know, my dad was asleep and mom couldn't figure out how to get on Zoom. So it was like, well, okay, you have a teenager in the house. Have him set up your computer and we'll talk tomorrow. So maybe I'll get to chat with my mom a little bit this evening. I mean, they're doing okay. I just haven't talked to them in a while. So, okay. Let's see. We're going to let that face dry a little bit and see what happens. And we're just going to, or I'm just going to color in the rest of him or her. Our cute little bunny, like with the little buck teeth. Okay. Sometimes when it's coloring, it's like, oh, I can't talk. Okay, so all I'm doing is filling in the rest of the image with my light smoky slate. Ooh, did you hear that squeaky noise? I did learn, somebody said, when you're using your blends, if you can hear them squeaking, you're pushing too hard. So if you're not getting the results that, that you're hoping for, maybe try a little lighter hand. Maybe try not to press so hard. The only time I remember that is when I start to hear it squeaking and then I'm like, oh, I'm pressing too hard. I don't know if you can damage your tips by pressing too hard, but I don't want to find out either. So now again, I'm just going to go over those little areas where I added the dark. And this is where I struggle because supposedly that's all you need to do. Watch, just like this. Just scribble over it for just a second till the harsh line disappears and then you're supposed to move on. So I'm going to leave it alone while I color the rest of him, and we'll see once that ink starts to dry, you will really see it start to blend in with the other, that have the two colors blend, right? Okay, so I've got dark and light petal pink. Let's see if the light, oh yeah, I wasn't sure if the light marker was going to be enough, but I like it. I love this color. Okay, and then I'm just going to take the dark and do his little nose, and I'm not going to do any kind of shading on his little feet or ears. I keep calling it a him. Okay, now my little trick, especially when you're stamping animal images, is I like to take my light Pool Party blend and just trace around my image. It really helps to make it pop off the paper. Lets it really stand out. And it's very subtle. And when you're doing this, don't stress out about it. I am just tracing around it. I'm not worried if part of my line is thicker than others. I'm just going to trace around it just to give it some color to where it kind of lifts that image off the page. You could also use, like, well, I wouldn't with this one, just because I already used it, but you can use that smoky slate to do this too, or gray granite or crumb cake. Yeah, so there he is, and he's so cute. And we're gonna start to see this part here where I tried to really leave it alone and not do a whole lot, that it should all blend in. So I hope. Oh, great, Sarah. Glad I could help you out with a tip. Let's see, what else did I missing? I'm making the card for my granddaughters. Maybe a little. Oh, yes, that would be sweet. Yep. Love that. Okay, I'm going to take a quick drink. The oak was really high a couple of days ago. And it typically, it bothers me. And, but it didn't. I didn't have a whole lot of problems with it. But the mold, oh my God, is off the charts ridiculous. And so I've got a little allergies issue. Yeah, the pink or the purple if it's a girl. Yep. You guys got it. Okay, so now let me grab my paper snips here. And we're just going to cut this piece off. And cut that piece off. And although they have glue on those, so I am tossing those in the trash can. Okay, so let's get our card base in here. We're almost done. I'll get my bone folder. Make sure that's straight. Give that a nice little crease. Surprisingly, I didn't use any ribbon on this, but I used the fun adhesive back sequence for my embellishment. Okay, so this is gonna go right down here. Okay. So pretty. Okay, and then we're gonna put, let's see, yeah. That's gonna go down right there, and there's nothing else. You know what? I do want to put this on first. Okay, we're gonna trim. Sorry about that. I think I was off. Okay, here we go. So I'm just gonna cut up the middle and then cut out, and I might not have done enough because that's gonna go like this all the way to the edge. Yeah, I haven't done enough. So I need to go almost right up to the exclamation point. So I'm just gonna come in again like this. And then cut from that outside point up to that center slit. And then that's going to go just like that. Okay, so now we know we've got good placement on that. Get some liquid glue. And let's see. About how much? About to right there. Okay. Pat, I've seen a couple of pictures of your little Trixie, and oh my goodness. You'd have her on a wanted poster for Steel and Heart. She is so stinking cute. So sweet. We've got a couple of friends that are going to be getting, well, they're not coronavirus babies yet. That's what they're saying, though, that in 9 months. Yeah, I'll let you figure out what the rest of that sentence was. I heard it on, there's no way I heard it on the news. Did I hear it on the news? I bet I heard it on somebody's Facebook Live. And I was like, oh, yeah, well, you know, people get bored. Okay. Sometimes that's how babies come, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, so now this is just gonna sit right there. It's so pretty. I love it. And this lovely lipstick is, it's by far my favorite of the 5 in colors that this group is in. Of course, these are all retiring the end of the catalog, so get your cardstock and your ink and your re-inker. That's what's gonna sell out first. If you love a color and you don't have the re-inker, you need to go buy it before they do the official announcement that things are retiring, which I think is going to be near the end of April. we all know that these colors are going to expire. And you're welcome. We've known for 2 years when they would expire. Anyway, it's that time. They are fixing to retire. Blueberry Bushel, Call Me Clover, Grapefruit Grove, Lovely Lipstick, and Pineapple Punch. Going away. Okay, so let me get some dimensionals. I'm actually gonna put these in the mail, so I'm gonna do a few extra because I don't want it to get smushed. I got so used to having my nails be, grown out a little bit with getting them manicured on a regular basis and, with the polish and all of that. And, first world problems, I know. I'm not complaining. It's just I'm finding it difficult, and I was too lazy to reach over and grab my Take Your Pick tool. I could have gotten those backings off. Oh, let me see. I know there's a shadow. Okay. You guys use your grid paper as much as I do for lining things up. I think I want it to peek out I want that to go just right at the bottom of yeah, right there. Okay. So cute. All right, well, let's put our embellishment on, and then this card is finished. So, like I said, I've got these basic adhesive backed sequins. Of course, I also have the Gingham Gala ones. This is Flirty Flamingo, and I just feel like it's the wrong color. So I'm going to use these because I'm out of my petal pink. I used the petal pink ones here. I thought we do have a soft green. Oh, well, the green would have worked for this because it does have some green in it, but not this one, in my opinion. So I'm just going to use this. Now, they do already have adhesive on the back, but I sometimes have trouble picking them up with my hands. Like the glue dot always ends up staying on the backing. So I'm just going to do it this way. Oops. My little Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to switch ends. I like to use my pointy end. We'll put a couple up here. And then I do want to use what about, no, you can't really see it. No, I'm going to put the flower, I think I'll put the flower right here. I've got something on here and I think it might be adhesive. So I'm just going to grab, this is an adhesive remover. We don't sell this anymore, but you can find it on Amazon. Okay. Whew. And we'll just kind of trickle them down like that. And there we go. So there's the one we just made, and there's the one that I made before. What do you guys think? I like it. I like it a lot. All right, you guys, quick and simple. Get some Easter cards made and get them sent out to people. Thank you, Pat. I hope that you're sending cards, period. I've got a big batch going out in the mail on Monday. So be checking your mailboxes. And I hope to craft with you guys live soon. Thanks so much. Bye.